Hey guys, we're back with the notes for 12.2. Today we're going to be talking about FOIL and what that stands for. So if you would please go ahead and copy everything that you see and then we'll talk. Perfect. So FOIL is actually an acronym. It stands for First, Outer, I guess it's written down there. We don't need to write it. It stands for First, Outer, Inner, Last. So what that means is we're distributing to multiply binomials. And we're doing that instead of what we used to do with the Punnett square. Okay, so before we took a box, we had 2 by 2. Each term got its own box. And we multiplied the x's together. And then we multiplied the number with the constant. And then we did the constant with the x and the constant with the constant. And we did that 4 sets, 4 boxes, combined our like terms, and that was our answer. Well, now with FOIL, we're going to take that 4x in red and we're going to distribute the first term times the other first term, 8x squared. The outer term, 6, that's 24x. The inners are going to multiply together, so the terms on the inside, 1 and the 2x, that's 2x. And then the last terms in each parenthesis are going to multiply. 1 times 6 is 6. It's still going to write out the exact same way, except now we're going to combine our like terms in the middle. That's where the 26 comes from. Okay, so box and FOIL are exactly the same thing. FOIL just requires a little bit less work. Okay, so there's only 6 problems for our examples. We're going to go ahead and go through all of those. I'm going to, instead of color coding them, I'm just going to do them all in the same colors. Let's do pink. All right, so problem number 1, let's zoom in. If I multiply the first terms, 2 times 6 is 12, x squared. 2x times 1, that's my outers, that's a positive 2x. Then I start with the next term, that plus 2, and I go on the bottom. 2 times 6x is 12x. 2 times 1 for the last terms is a plus 2. My pieces right here are like, they both have an x, so I'm going to combine them. 12x squared, that becomes 14x's. Do not add an exponent, just keep it x, and then plus 2. And we're done with that problem. Very straightforward. We're distributing the first term and then the second term. We will never put these two guys together, okay? So the x is going to distribute to the second parentheses. X in 3x is 3x squared. X times a negative 2 is negative 2x, and then we switch to this negative 3 right here. Negative 3 times 3x is negative 9x. Negative 3 times negative 2 is a plus 6. The middle terms are like, so we combine them. 3x squared minus 11x plus 6. I'm going to zoom out. If you missed anything, copy those down. Perfect. Let's go ahead and try 3. For problem 3, we're going to do the same thing. Start with the 3x. Distribute the first is 9x squared. Outside is a plus 3x. And then we move to the negative 1. Insides make a negative 3x. Last terms make a negative 1. Now this time, you're going to notice something special happen. My terms in the middle are going to cancel. Plus 3x and minus 3x. So if I write what's left over, I have 9x squared minus 1. That's what we called a difference of squares back then because our parenthesis pieces were the same. They just had opposite terms, so the middle pieces cancel out. Okay? Let's try number 4. Number 4 actually has a typo. Will you put the x next to the 6? I forgot it when I typed it. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get started. 8x and 6x makes 48x squared. 8x and 2 makes 16x. That's a positive. Negative 2 and 6 is negative 12x. Negative 2 and 2 is a negative 4. Now, these are not difference of squares because one had an 8, one had a 6. So the middle guys are not going to cancel. They're just going to combine. 48x squared. 16 minus 12 makes 4x. And then minus 4 at the end. That's a 4, by the way. There we go. All right, if you missed anything on 3 and 4, take just a second, copy that down, make sure you got it. And then we're going to number 5. So number 5, we have X minus 5 times x plus 5. It's a difference of squares, so we're looking for something to cancel. All right, distribute first, x squared. Outer is 5x, positive 5x, and then we move to the negative 5. Inner is negative 5x. Last is negative 25. These guys cancel each other out because one's a positive 5x, one's a minus 5x, so they cancel. We have x squared minus 25. All right, we got one more question. Let's go ahead and knock it out. Problem 6 is a little bit different because you only see one parenthesis. When you see that little squared up here, what that means is you're going to write it twice. So I'm going to scribble out that 2, and I'm going to write it again, 2x plus 5. Just copy the same parenthesis again, and then we can roll. Multiply first. 2x and 2x is 4x squared. 2x and 5, my outers, is 10x. Move to the 5 now. 5 times 2x is another plus 10x. 5 and 5 is a positive 25. Now, these are the same. They're not going to cancel. They're going to combine. 4x squared plus 20x's plus 25. All right, I'm zooming out so you can see the whole thing. If there is anything you missed, go ahead and copy that down. Otherwise, that's the end of 12.2. Go ahead and get started on the practice.